What if your greatest enemy became your only hope of survival? Imagine crashing deep inside Soviet Russia at the height of the Cold War, wounded, completely alone, and surrounded by enemies. But instead of being captured, you're rescued by a former KGB agent who secretly loves American culture. Sounds unbelievable, right? That's exactly the wild and entertaining premise of Mayday 2026. From the directing duo John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, the filmmakers behind several crowd-pleasing action comedies, Mayday delivers an exciting blend of action, adventure, comedy, and heartfelt friendship. Starring Ryan Reynolds and Sir Kenneth Branagh, this movie turns a classic Cold War spy thriller into an unexpected buddy adventure filled with humor, suspense, and emotional moments. The story of Mayday movie takes place during the final years of the Cold War when tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union are at their peak. Lieutenant Troy, assassin Kelly, a talented American military pilot, is assigned a highly classified reconnaissance mission over Soviet territory. The mission is supposed to be quick and secretive, but everything goes terribly wrong when his aircraft is attacked, forcing him to crash land deep inside the frozen forests of Soviet Russia. Seriously injured and miles away from friendly territory, Troy believes he has little chance of survival. However, when he regains consciousness, he finds himself inside a small cabin owned by Nikolai Ustinov, a former KGB agent. To Troy's surprise, Nikolai has saved his life by performing emergency surgery on his wounded leg without anesthesia. At first, Troy doesn't know whether to trust the mysterious stranger, but he soon realizes that Nikolai is unlike anyone he has ever met. Although he once worked for the Soviet Union, Nikolai secretly admires American culture, democracy, music, movies, and even keeps American souvenirs inside his cabin. Watching Ronald Reagan's speeches on an old television only adds to Troy's confusion. Knowing that Soviet forces are searching for the crashed pilot, Nikolai decides to help Troy escape. What begins as a simple rescue mission soon becomes a dangerous journey across the harsh Russian wilderness. The two men must survive freezing temperatures, avoid enemy patrols, and overcome countless obstacles while learning to trust each other despite coming from opposite sides of history's greatest political rivalry. As they spend more time together, their relationship changes from suspicion to genuine friendship. Troy begins to understand that patriotism isn't defined only by nationality, while Nikolai rediscovers hope through helping someone he once was supposed to consider an enemy. Filled with explosive action, thrilling escape sequences, hilarious moments, and emotional character development, Mayday transforms from a Cold War survival story into a heartfelt tale about friendship, courage, loyalty, and humanity. In the end, the film reminds us that even during times of war, the strongest bonds can be formed between the most unlikely people, proving that compassion and friendship are more powerful than political divisions. What makes Mayday 2026 films stand out is its refreshing twist on the traditional Cold War action film. Instead of focusing solely on espionage, military conflict, or political tension, the movie builds its story around an unlikely friendship between two men who are supposed to be enemies. By combining high-stakes survival with humor and heartfelt moments, the film offers something different from a typical action thriller. Another major highlight is the pairing of Ryan Reynolds and Kenneth Branagh. Reynolds brings his signature charm, quick wit, and comedic timing to Lieutenant Troy Assassin Kelly, while Branagh delivers a warm yet commanding performance as Nikolai Ustinov, a former KGB agent fascinated by American culture. Their contrasting personalities create entertaining chemistry that drives both the comedy and the emotional core of the story. The snowy Russian wilderness also becomes an important character in the film. The harsh landscapes, freezing weather, and constant danger create a tense survival adventure, while the breathtaking cinematography gives the movie a grand cinematic feel. Every step of Troy and Nikolai's journey feels unpredictable as they dodge enemy patrols and battle the unforgiving environment. Mayday film features a talented ensemble led by Ryan Reynolds as Lieutenant Troy Assassin Kelly, a fearless U.S. military pilot stranded behind enemy lines after a disastrous Cold War mission. Kenneth Branagh plays Nikolai Ustinov, a retired KGB agent who unexpectedly becomes Troy's rescuer and closest ally. Maria Bakalova stars as Anna Ustinov, while Marcin Dorochutsky portrays the determined Soviet officer Alexander Volkov. The supporting cast includes David Morse as Harold Kelly, alongside Lavelle Adams-Gray, Clark Johnson, Alex Malari Jr., Louis Kenselmi, and Alex Ozerov, each adding depth to this action-packed Cold War adventure. Unlike many action films that focus only on explosions and combat, Mayday explores deeper themes of trust, loyalty, patriotism, and humanity. It asks whether people can look beyond political ideologies and national borders to recognize each other's humanity. This emotional layer gives the story more depth and makes the relationship between the two leads genuinely meaningful. The film also balances multiple genres remarkably well. It blends action, adventure, comedy, survival, and emotional drama without losing momentum. Fast-paced chase sequences, witty dialogue, touching character moments, and Cold War suspense come together to create an entertaining experience that appeals to a wide audience. Ultimately, Mayday 2026 stands out because it transforms a Cold War survival story into an uplifting tale about friendship in the most unexpected circumstances. Its unique premise, charismatic lead performances, emotional storytelling, and mix of humor and action make it far more than just another military adventure. It is a character-driven journey that celebrates hope, courage, and the power of human connection. Running for 111 minutes, Mayday is an action-packed adventure that mixes comedy, suspense, emotional storytelling, and spectacular snowy landscapes. Rather than focusing only on the conflict between nations, the film reminds us that people on opposite sides can still find common ground and become true friends. Distributed by Apple TV, Mayday is scheduled to release on September 4, 2026. If you enjoy survival adventures, Cold War thrillers, Ryan Reynolds' witty humor, and emotional buddy movies, this is definitely one to add to your watch list. So, don't forget to watch Mayday 2026 when it releases. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to CheezeDrama for more upcoming movie reviews, drama updates, and entertainment news. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.